If you have back pain from an L4, L5, or L5, S1 disc herniation, bulge, or just chronic low back pain, and doing any kind of bent over or row alternative in the gym with free weights is wrecking your low back, today's video is for you. I'm gonna give you two powerful alternatives to the bent over row that are gonna change the way you lift while continuing to build strength pain-free. Now, if you're new here, my name is William and I teach people just like you how to overcome years of chronic low back pain without drugs or surgery or random stretches, simply by mastering their mindset, improving their movements, and building smarter strength. So if you feel like you've tried everything and nothing seems to work, you're in the right place. Now, of course, the bent over row is one of the biggest and most popular back development exercises, aside from like the deadlift, that you could do in the gym. So no matter what season of life you're in, whether you're young and you're trying to competitively lift, or you're a grandfather, grandmother, mom, dad, and you're just trying to keep up with your kids, be strong, look good, without actually causing more damage to your back, rowing exercises are a great choice for you. Now, the question is, which rowing exercise, when it comes to a back development focus, should you be doing with an L4, L5, or L5, S1 disc herniation, bulge, or any kind of chronic low back pain after that type of diagnosis? Now, I always want to start with saying everyone is very unique. So what I'm going to be sharing with you might be subjective to change based off of your unique pain profile. But if you're having pain and you can't seem to find an alternative, these two options would probably be best fit for you. What I'll do is I'll break these two down and also jump into the gym and show you some specific coaching cues that you need to make sure that you pay attention to, because it's not just about modifying the exercises, but truly understanding what is happening while you're doing these exercises from a mental and physical perspective when it comes to chronic low back pain. So make sure you stay to the end and watch every exercise demo to make sure you do it right. The first row alternative is the bench supported row. Love this exercise, lots of variations we can do, so let's check out the best way to do it. So the first alternative to the bent over row is the bench supported row. There's a few different ways you can do this type of exercise. I personally like really two different ways. One is more of like the conventional way where you have a bench. Sometimes at your gym, they may have an actual isolated machine where it's kind of like a bench supported row. In this case here, if you just have a basic bench, then you can make these modifications. So for me, there's one variation where I like to just do more of the traditional style of bench supported row. I can pick up as much weight as I want here. I can have the dumbbells ready. I can do single arm rows, and I can do actually double arm rows here. If you have the right kind of bench, right kind of setup, you can also do a barbell row, just depending on what you have. That's more the traditional kind of bench supported row that I really like for chronic back pain. For the other one that's kind of a little bit non-traditional is a little bit more creative. So I have my bench set up here. I have the butt of it at an angle, same pitch on the back part of the bench. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have my knee wedged into this crack. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna have support here. So I'm in this kind of neutral position. This is one of the ways that you can do it. And I'm actually gonna come down here, I'll grab my weight, and I'm rowing in this position here. That's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is simply by bringing your foot up. This might be more problematic for you, so if it is, it puts your hip in a little bit more flexion, so experiment with it. If you don't like it, it doesn't feel good, just get rid of it. But you'll have your foot up on the bench here, you'll bring this knee here, and you're gonna grab onto this, very similar to what I just did. It just puts you in a little bit more of a different stabilized position. Spine is still neutral, trying to keep that nice. We're not trying to round here, trying to keep it neutral, and I can row here. This feels really good. It feels very stable, but it's all about your symptoms and how you feel. Those two bench variations are key and critical for you if you have chronic back pain. You're trying to find some opportunity to build strength in the back without the traditional bent over row. Before we dive into the next exercise I have for you, I want to give you a simple routine that you can do if you're in pain now, and sometimes exercise, even simply doing it right, doesn't correct pain issues. I want to give you something that you can do that's a little bit easier, that will focus more on bringing relief, movement, and strength to this L4, L5, or L5, S1 area. You can go to fitnessforbackpain.com/routine. I put together the exercises, the reps, the sets, and even the modifications that you should be making if any of those specific movements cause you more pain. It's free, it's yours, my gift to you. Just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/routine and grab that free guide and execute it before you do any type of workout going forward. Now let's jump back into the episode. Now the second row alternative is the inverted row. Now you can do these a couple different ways, so let me show you some of my favorite ones in the gym now. Another favorite row alternative, I've got two variations for you. One will be with the barbell, the other with a blast strap or a jungle gym strap, a TRX, whatever you might have. You can get creative. If you have a home gym, you're trying to build some strength, you're trying to make sure that you're not hurting your back at the same time, these tools are really super simple, and this exercise is a great alternative to that bent over row. So the first one is just a simple barbell. It's an inverted row. So we're gonna reverse this kind of motion of what we're trying to do with the row and activating the back. Grabbing a barbell here, I like to have it so I'm not far from the ground. So if I were to lay flat on my back, I can almost touch the barbell with my fingertips. That way I don't have to get up too far, I don't have to get too weird. If I wanted to stack some plates on my chest, or I have a weighted vest hanging up right here, if I wanted to add more weight, which is a common thing to do, I can do that and not have too much of an angle here where the weight's falling and sliding everywhere. So from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring my shoulder blades, make them nice and stable, brace the core, bring my hip up, and I'm just gonna pull my chest towards the bar. What I'm not doing is here and pulling this way where I'm extending my low back. You wanna be in a more of an active, neutral position, almost like in a sitting position, and I'm going to pull my chest to the bar. If this inverted row variation where I'm more parallel with the floor is too difficult, the higher up you go with the barbell, the easier it becomes, but the harder it is to apply weight to the movement, so you have to shift to some kind of like weighted vest. Second variation is TRX strap, blast strap, jungle gym strap, whatever you might have. The rules are still the same. This is a little bit more unique, a little bit more fun because you can change up your grip, where this you're kind of limited to either an overhand or underhand, something like that, close, wide. This one, you can do a little bit of rotation at the same time. So same rules here. I'm gonna lay flat on my back, reach up, my fingertips should come pretty close to touching those handles. I'm gonna grab here, active sitting position. So I'm in the hardest variation of this. And I'm going to pull. So if you have more like shoulder pain, shoulder issues, this variation is a little bit easier because you can favor more of like a neutral pull, or you can adjust the elbows to bring into something where it's a little bit safer or more comfortable for your shoulders. So same rules, nice brace core, pulling up nice and slow, active, almost a sitting position. If I wanted to make it easier for myself, then I would just bring the straps up higher, add weight, whatever you want to do, knock it out. The biggest mistake I see people doing when it comes to training their low back or dealing with chronic low back pain but trying to use exercise to get out of pain is they start just eliminating the things that cause them pain. The problem is this will create imbalances. It will create weakness in their body up and down their chain of muscles, joints, and movement patterns. So it's really important that if you're having pain with a certain movement or exercise, really get to the root issue of that specific exercise. When we're modifying, changing, doing alternative exercises, it should be a temporary change. You always want to try to focus back on getting back to being able to do whatever it is that you want to do. Now, if you feel like you're stuck in pain, this is a very common thing. Just because you are modifying exercises does not mean that the pain will go away. You're just kind of skating around the actual problem. Now, if you've done PT, you've done injections, you've done chiropractic care, you feel like you've tried everything and you don't want to have surgery. Exercise sometimes helps, but then it sometimes makes you worse. You may have more of a pain relief problem that you have to focus on first. Now, this is something that is very, very important if you want the exercises or routines that you're following to actually work. Now, this is what I do inside of my Strength and Pain Relief Accelerator program. When I'm working with someone one-on-one, we don't focus on strength first because you can't if you are so isolated around the pain that you are in. The exercise is not going to magically make the pain go away. You really have to get to the root issue. Now, if you feel stuck, you feel like, well, I'm not sure how to do that or what I should do, you and I working together might be a good fit, but the best way to see if what I do can actually help you is to have a simple conversation. You can go to fitnessforbackpain.com/apply. That'll give us a chance to see where you're at, what you're trying, and what is in your way of actually beating your pain so that you can do whatever exercises you want to do in the gym, even the scary ones. Again, grab that time to meet with me one-on-one, fitnessforbackpain.com/apply. We'll discuss your situation and see whether or not you and I working together would be a good fit. fitnessforbackpain.com/apply. That's it for today's video, guys. God bless. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.